All right, class, it's the start of a new week. So here is a short explanation of what we're going to be doing. And my dog is just going to be eating a bone in the back. So if you hear any annoying chomps, that's him. Sorry. Anyways, so this week, if you look at your modules, okay, well, first of all, if you found this video, it's probably because you clicked this button. Thank you very much. But if you go to your modules, you'll see that there's a new page that has opened up on our special interest blog module. And this is actually an assignment that is due for you this coming Monday. And all I'm asking from you is that you submit your link to your blog. In the discussion page, I'm still not getting a lot of links from from most of y'all. So if you can please just turn in just the URL, just the web address, that way I can find your blogs. We should be good to go. This shouldn't be too hard for you. You guys should already have your blog websites created and up and running. Okay, after you do that, you'll notice that a few more assignments have opened up in our module. We are going to finish up our read of Letter from Birmingham Jail. And we're not quite done with the last excerpt. So, you know, you had already read this excerpt last week. But now what you're going to do is you are going to you're going to practice a little bit here with claim, evidence, and reasoning skills. So it asks you a question. What is King's claim in excerpt 2? It's important that you use your own words here when you're describing the claim. Okay, you're going to show evidence. So what are 3 compelling pieces of evidence that support King's claim in excerpt 2? So what does he use to strengthen his argument? And you guys don't need to come up with your own sentences here. If you just want to drag and drop the examples from the excerpt, that's absolutely fine. And then you have reasoning here. How does King convey the relationship between his claim and the evidence, as well as the importance of the evidence? And so this is going to be a short paragraph. I expect you to explain, exactly how Dr. King manages to be persuasive with the claims that he makes and the facts and the truths and the evidence that he uses to back them up. So you're going to explain that to me in your own words. If you do decide to use a quote from the excerpt, it's really important that you use quotation marks. Okay, you can't take his words directly and claim them as your own. And remember, this is a paragraph. I did quite a bit of grading this weekend, and it looks like a lot of us are still struggling with understanding what a paragraph is. And if your paragraph only contains 1 or 2 sentences, well, you're doing it wrong. So, at least 4 or 5 sentences. And, don't really focus so much on length here, but focus on clarity. Focus on explaining the reasoning behind his claims and behind the evidence that he uses. You want to be thorough. You want to finish this task completely. Okay, when you're done with that, you'll turn it in, go to the next page. Okay, and then we'll read our last excerpt. Okay, you don't have to write any paragraphs about this, not just yet. So you'll read the last bit of his letter. Okay, and then you'll have your last activity right here. And so you actually have an option here. You don't have to do both of these assignments. You just need to choose one of these 2 activities to complete your analysis of the letters. And you really have 2 options here. So this first document here, let me see if I can, no, that's fine. Okay, so in this first document here, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to articulate his claim. Oops. My mouse just flipped out there for a second. Okay, so you're going to identify his claim. You're going to write that down in a sentence. Okay, what is Dr. King's claim about unjust laws? And make sure that you use keywords from the text as well as your own words here. Okay, we're all developing our vocabularies. We all want to expand them. In this next box, you're going to list 3 pieces of evidence, and just like in the last activity, you can pull direct quotes from the letter. That's absolutely fine. And then lastly, you're going to show reasoning skills. Okay, so what is important about Dr. King's claim and how does he back it up with evidence. You're going to explain this again in a paragraph, and it's just the same as the last activity that you used to conclude your reading of excerpt 2, only this time you're doing it for the third. Okay, now, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. There's another option for you here. And for this, what you're just doing is you're using these 3 questions from the left column to write an analysis of excerpt 3. And so, don't think that you can just give me a short little paragraph here. I'm looking for a paragraph that you would find in a research paper. And for those of you that don't know proper MLA, Jane Schaefer style, essay writing, which I'll get into later, okay? A body paragraph is going to be no shorter than 8 sentences long. And if you decide to go this route and your paragraph is shorter than 8 sentences and it fails to address Dr. King's claim, it fails to show the evidence that he uses, and it fails to show me how you understand his argument and how he pulls everything together, then you're going to have a bad time, okay? So, there are 2 options for you. Do what works best, okay? If it's easier for you to write, this is the way to go. If you really struggle with getting your ideas down on paper, this step-by-step instruction set will probably work best for you. And so what you'll do is you'll do that, and then you'll turn it in by September 21st. And I think that's it. Oh, nope. There's also a discussion. And so we're going to wrap this lesson up with a discussion. Remember to follow the discussion questions exactly. So, it has you review the questions that we've been looking at for the entire unit. How do we balance individual concerns with community values? How can we belong to various communities simultaneously? What are the things that unify or bind a community together? Okay, we've been asking these over and over and over, and here you really need to think about it. Okay? And then make sure you follow the directions exactly. So here's the question here that you'll need to focus on in your discussion. Based on what we've done so far, answer one of these essential questions. So you're going to pick one of these and answer it in the discussion. And you're going to make sure that you use topic-related language. Okay, if you're not sure what the topic-related language is, it is at the very beginning of the lesson. It's the glossary if you go to your modules. Okay. If you go to, I think it's like the second page here, Module 1 Glossary, the discussion asks that you use this kind of language. Okay, you want to expand on your vocabulary a bit, and these are some great words to incorporate into your discussions. Okay, now going back to that page, I wasn't quite ready to leave it yet. And so, just make sure you follow the discussion guidelines here. You want to aim for clarity. You want to speak as clearly and, as easily for others to understand as possible. You want to use correct grammar. Okay, avoid slang. We're all professionals here. Okay, avoid jokes and sarcasm because usually they don't land quite right. And you want to make it count, you want to be honest, and you want to participate in a thoughtful discussion. And it's also very important that you respond to, at least 2 others. Okay, because a discussion, it can't be just a statement. You have to, reply to at least 2 other classmates. And if you're not quite sure how to respond to your classmates, there are a few sentence frames here that you can follow to help you out. And if you guys need any help with this, you know how to reach me. I will love to help you out. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for this week. Make sure that you send me your URLs, send me your addresses to your blogs. Otherwise, I won't be able to give you a grade for those. And I'm really excited to read what you have to say. I'm really interested in what you're interested in. And, I think that this is a great opportunity for you to practice getting your voice out there and just sharing with others, knowledge that you already find so important. So I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say this week. All right. Like I said, if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Have a good week.